Hi everyone, today we're going to study factoring, and we're going to factor a trinomial of this form: ax squared plus bx plus c. How do we factor a trinomial of this form? We are going to follow some steps. Step 1 is factor any greatest common factor, or GCF. Step 2, find the product AC. This AC means the A, the coefficient of x squared, and the C, the constant of the trinomial. Step 3, we're going to find two numbers m and n, such that if we multiply the m and n, this is equal to the AC. This AC coming from step 2. Also, if we add the m and n, we can see it is m plus n. It must be equal to the b. And this b is the coefficient of the x in the middle term of the trinomial. Step 4, split the middle term using m and n. It means to say the ax squared plus bx plus c will become like this: ax squared plus mx plus nx plus c. Step 5, we're going to factor by grouping. Let us have example 1. Let us factor out 10x squared minus 55x plus 70. Step 1 says, let us factor any greatest common factor. For this trinomial, we can see that there is a common factor of 5. So we can factor out that number 5. So what remains in the first term will be 2x squared. For the second term, now becomes negative 11x. And the third term, 70, will become 14. Step 2, let us find the product AC. After removing the greatest common factor, we have now our new trinomial here to be 2x squared minus 11x plus 14. Now taking the AC, it means the A, which is the coefficient of x squared, it is 2, and the C is the constant 14. Now multiplying the A and C, 2 times 14 equals 28. In step 3, we're going to find two numbers that when we multiply these two numbers m and n, it must be equal to 28. But if we add the m and n, it must be equal to the b. And this b is the coefficient of the middle term of the trinomial. After considering many pairs of factors, it was found that the negative 4 and the negative 7, if we multiply, will be equal to 28. Also, if we add the negative 4 and the negative 7, it is equal to negative 11. So the 28 here is the product AC, and the negative 11 is the B. So step 4, we're going to split the middle term using m and n. It means to say we're going to rewrite this trinomial but the middle term, we must split it using this m and n here. So as you see now, in this line, the 5 is copied. The 2x squared is copied down here. The negative 11x is now split into negative 4x and negative 7x. And then plus the constant 14. And in step 5, we're going to factor by grouping. So we have here 4 terms. We're going to group the first 2 and also the last 2. So the 2x squared minus 4x is now in one group. The negative 7x plus 14 is in another group. And using that factor by grouping, we are going to factor out a common factor or greatest common factor for these 2 terms. Also, we will do the same on the next group. So in here we can see that 2x is the GCF. So we put the 2x outside. What remains inside for this term will be x. And for the negative 4x, what remains is the negative 2. If we want to check if our factoring are correct, we can multiply 2x times x. We will get back the 2x squared, and then 2x times negative 2, we will get the negative 4x back. Now for the second group, we want this x to be positive, so we're going to factor out a negative 7. So when we factor out the negative 7, what remains here will be positive x. And for the positive 14, what remains is a negative 2. Again, just to check if these factors are correct, we can multiply and see if we can get the original binomial back. So the negative 7 times x is negative 7x, and negative 7 times the negative 2 is positive 14. So we are sure that these factors are correct. And now we have 2 big groups here, and we can see that there is a common factor for these 2 big groups, and that common is the binomial x minus 2. So we can factor that x minus 2 out. It will be like this. First, we copy the number 5. Now this common x minus 2 we'll put in here. And on the second factor, we will collect the remaining terms after removing the common factor. So 2x is copied here, and then the negative 7. So for our answer, the factors are 5 and x minus 2 and 2x minus 7. So this is our final answer. Let us have example 2. Factor out 6x squared plus 7x plus 2. Step 1 says, let us factor any GCF. But there is no GCF here. So we will proceed with step 2. We're going to find the product AC. The coefficient of x squared is the a, and that is 6. The constant 2, that is the c. We will multiply here. 6 times 2 equals 12. And then step 3, we're going to find 2 numbers. And these 2 numbers are factors of 12. And at the same time, if we add the 2 numbers, it must be equal to b. And that b is that number 7. After considering many pairs of factors, We found that 3 times 4 equals 12, and that is the AC. And 3 plus 4 equals 7, and that is the B. So now, we're going to split this middle term using the M and N. So the 3 and the 4 are our M and N respectively. So writing this again, 6x squared is here. Instead of writing 7x, we will now write 3x plus 4x, and then plus the constant 2. Step 5, we are now to factor by grouping. We're going to group the first two terms and then group the last two terms. We're going to factor out the GCF for these two terms. We can see that 3x is common. So what remains in the first term, 6x squared, is 2x, and then plus 1. We can check if our factors are correct. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. 3x times 1 is positive 3x. For the second group, the common factor is 2. So we remove the number 2 outside. And what remains with the 4x is 2x. And then for the 2, it becomes 1. Again, let us check ourselves if the factors are correct. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 1 is positive 2. So we are sure that these factors are correct. Now, we have two big groups here, and there is a common in these two big groups. And the common is that binomial 2x plus 1. There is also 2x plus 1 here. So we're going to factor out the 2x plus 1. It is now in here. And for the second factor, it is simply the remaining terms for each of the big groups. So the 3x is copied here, and then plus the 2. So our factors, 2x plus 1 times the 3x plus 2. I hope you learned something from this video. See you again next time.